Welcome to another episode of the Biblical Resolutions Podcast, brought to you by the House of Jacob Bible Study Class, located at 2515 East 75th Street in Chicago, Illinois. And as always, we want to remind the listeners to please follow the podcast by going to our podcast page, which can be found at hojbible.podbean.com. You can also follow us on the House of Jacob Bible Study Classes website, which is thehouseofjacob.org. And we want to thank you for tuning in with us again for another episode. We are bringing you episode number 51. And the title of episode number 51 is The Benefit of Being Thankful. And as on today's podcast, we have Brother Hisamak. And well, thank you, brother, for once again participating.
Yeah, brother, truly, man, it's always a blessing to come over this podcast and share what the Lord has shown us. So I'm grateful, brother, truly.
Yes, sir. And we talked about this topic a little bit briefly last night. Being grateful.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we generally don't think of, especially when it comes to approaching God, with your requests, with your supplications.
That's
But
right.
that's probably one of the most important points to really consider. When we come to God, don't come to him being a murmurer.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times that's how we approach God.
Yeah.
We approach him with a complaint,
Yeah.
or we murmuring,
Yeah.
or it's
Or
but
we treat him like a genie in a bottle.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
He just
Like,
going,
this
rub the bottle, and you're gonna get anything you ask. It's supposed to poof,
it appear.
just
That's not
appear to
how
you.
it works.
And that's not how it works. But also, when you approach unto God, when we see a few examples in the book, we see when Daniel he approached unto God for some understanding. First thing he did was he confessed his
Confess this.
sins and the sins of his people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's something that I've taken, you know, uh, in my own prayers and stuff. I always try to say, hey, forgive me for my transgressions and confess my faults, because I ain't nowhere near perfect,
Yes, sir.
and I ain't nowhere. I'm not that righteous where you know God gotta hear me,
Yep.
or have respect to my prayer at all. So
Yes, sir.
always, man, coming before him in humility.
Yep.
Before you start reading off
Making
your list.
your honey-do list. you
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
confess your sins first.
Yes, sir.
Humble yourself first, but then also be thankful for the things that he has done for you.
Yes, sir.
You know, because when you do that, you show appreciation. It's just like,
Yes, sir.
with your own family and your own
Yep.
children.
Yep.
When your children act ungrateful and unthankful, it angers you,
Yep.
because you looking at them like, man, you don't know what, I had to work, or, do whatever to make this happen for you, or to get you this.
Yep.
And now you acting like it ain't nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the same way when we act unthankful toward God. Well, yeah, you angering the true and living God, because you just so caught up in what you don't have and what you need. You just
Mm-hmm.
totally disregard everything he's ever done for you up until that point.
Yeah. And, and,
You
and
know,
also, bro, what you want and all this
right?
stuff, man, really to me, man, just, you know, adds on to other burdens. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But really being meek and humble and thankful and grateful for what he have done for you changes everything. just like you, man, I started to notice, man, when you look at the Bible, man, when they ever in trouble, they start confessing their faults and their sins and being grateful for what the Lord have done. He changed, everything changes for them. And, to me, that's a pattern that, man, I've adapted in my life and in my prayers. You know what I'm saying? I don't come out with, hey, I want this, I need this, can you do this for me, move this around? No. Thank you for everything that you've done, and that's a mindset and a state of mind that we got to grow to. And we're going to be better and better servants and get closer to the Lord, man. It ain't about always getting everything you want. It's about being appreciative of what you have and, being grateful for what's been given to you. So truly, man, it's a different way of looking at it, brother.
And if you want to get more of your request handled, you want to get more of your prayers answered, we gotta do things in a way that the Lord got laid out in this book.
Yes, sir.
He gives you examples of how to do things so that you can take them examples, and then maybe the Lord maybe he'll deliver more to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But definitely being thankful when you approach your God, being thankful first before you go off on your rant, is something that's gonna benefit you.
Yes, sir.
So we gonna go and just start it off, brother. We're gonna go to Philippians the 4th chapter.
Yes, sir.
And we just gonna look at some of these finer points of being thankful, because again, this is something, man, that's in the scriptures to teach us, because we don't want to fall after the same example of those in the past that weren't thankful.
Yep.
So this is for our example.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna go this Philippians 4.
Yeah, Philippians 4th chapter, brother. And here Paul, man, is telling you about being, thankful and appreciative, man. And he's showing it to his followers and the followers of Christ, man. This is how you're supposed to behave. And this is, to me, truly important for our walk towards salvation. So this Philippians, the 4th chapter, and brother, when you pick it up at verse 6, brother.
Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things.
And that's, to me, man, this is what we need to really try to lock into.
Right.
Starting off praying with thanksgiving.
Yep.
And we really don't kind of do that because we come to God, man, and approach him wrong a lot of times. And in that wrong approach, man, I know he won't hear your request. It's just like at your job, in your house, man. If people kind of come at you wrong, you be like, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he go on to say, man, and the peace of God, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and mind through Christ Jesus. That's something that we don't kind of think about, man. That peace of God in our hearts and our minds and that comfort. Then he tell you, brother, man, whatsoever things are honest, are just, and lovely, and pure, think on these things. Right. These are the things that's going to increase you as a servant. Right. It's going to bring you closer to your God, because these are the things he think on. Right. He think on the honest things. He think on the just things. He think on the lovely things. And these things are going to grow you as a servant, are going to grow you as a brother or a sister, going to help grow the body. These are the things that's going to increase you into eternal life.
Right. absolutely. But again, man, pray with thanksgiving,
Yes, sir.
because God ain't forsaken you.
No, sir.
But then we act like He have, because when we come to Him, we ain't thanking Him for none of that, for none of the other things, for all the
Yeah.
deliverance, all the deliverance over your whole life.
Oh,
He done,
life. Yes, sir.
he done brought you through. We forget sometimes, man, because we get caught up in that selfish mentality of,
Yep.
I want what I want,
Yep.
and don't nothing else matter, and because I ain't got it, I'm upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So uh but remember that humility,
Oh, yeah.
eh, because look, you talking about the God of the creation. How you gonna come to Him with your chest out,
Yes, sir.
asking for anything,
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
hey, when you step on all the other times He done delivered you, what are you saying? You hindering your own, cause.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Because that's the same way, like you said, man. When somebody come to you like that, you feel like, well, man, if you don't appreciate what I'm doing, well, get out my
Yeah.
face.
Yep.
You,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, go to somebody else then.
Yep.
Go find you another way,
Yep.
because it's offensive.
Yeah. It's offensive.
It's offensive when a person doesn't show appreciation, or they're not thankful, and you done help them out.
Yep.
But just the same way we approach unto God, we approach
Yep.
unto Him, and sometimes we forget to be thankful.
Yep.
But again, if we want our prayers to be more prayers to be answered, and we want Him to hear us, this is one important ingredient. Is really, when you come before Him, hey, be thankful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And confess your faults also,
Yep.
and then you come with your requests. But let's go to Numbers 11, because we want to look at, again, the best examples we have of being unthankful and ungrateful is the people that came out of Egypt,
Yeah.
because they were always unthankful and
Yeah.
ungrateful,
Yeah.
because they cried day and night
Yep.
about everything, no
Yep.
matter what it was. But they weren't thankful because they got delivered out of their bondage,
Nope.
even to the point where they kept, with it, a couple of times they said, hey, man, we gonna go back, you
Mm-hmm.
know
Mm-hmm.
because they had a little discomfort, a little hunger, a little thirsty. And I guess that discomfort was worse than the discomfort of being a
Mm.
slave. So they said, well, we going back to Egypt, man, forget all of this.
Yeah.
But they could never they could never get that in their minds, that look,
Yeah.
we got delivered out of a great bondage,
Yeah.
because as soon as they got out, they totally forgot about everything.
Yeah. And they got delivered by a great deliverance. I mean,
But they, yep,
Egypt got tore up. I mean,
yep,
not by no regular, like, it's a fluke that something happened. You got delivered by plagues that destroyed a nation.
right,
And to me, man, to you come out unscathed without a scratch, a bump, a bruise, you should have had a total different mindset. But again, I know it's something that got to be taught and developed. It got to be something that you start to instill in yourself, humility and all these other characteristics that we tend to overlook. But these are the things that help us grow towards, being more thankful and grateful and appreciative.
yep. So I got verse 18, Numbers
Mm-hmm.
11 to 18, but we're gonna read verse 1, because this kind of going along with what we're talking about here. So when you
Okay.
get that Numbers 11, brother, first read verse 1 from.
Okay. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
So right away it said, when the people complain, it displeased the Lord. Because how you gonna keep complaining, and you done been delivered out of a great bondage. You done been freed from something that your father, grandfather, great grandfather, 430 years worth.
Yep.
But all you could do is complain. And what happened? He got upset. And this is what I keep in mind. Okay, how many times you gonna pray, but your whole prayer gonna be a complaint? Because as sooner or later you gotta know that ain't no good.
That ain't no good.
Because you displeasing your God.
Yeah.
You displeasing him with all these complaints you got.
Yeah.
But you ain't never thanking him for none of the deliverance,
Mm-hmm.
for none of his mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And you acting like you holier than thou. You ain't confessing no faults or nothing. All you got is complaints when you come to God.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't understand, man. It's easy to fall into that. Because the cares of this world, man, they start to weigh on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your bills and people and situations start to weigh on you. And that carnal mind, man, you start to cry, woe is me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we gotta understand, man. You gotta tread lightly when
Yeah.
you dealing with the true and living God.
Yep.
You gotta tread lightly. So hey, they start complaining when he got upset, and now it's time for head busting. But they start crying about how they wanted meat. So the Lord gonna give them what they asked for, but he gonna give them more than they can handle,
Mm-hmm.
because they kept on crying, kept on crying. Okay, this what you really want? You want meat? I'm gonna give it to you. Skip down to verse 18.
And say thou unto the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh, for ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat.
But listen
Ye
to what they said. They said, "For it was well with us in Egypt."
mm.
How can that possibly be? Because you had some meat. So forget everything else. Forget all. Forget the harsh bondage they had you in.
Yeah.
Forget being, the lowest of the low in the land.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Forget all of that, because you had something to eat. It was well with you in Egypt. So I know, man, the Lord probably was like, man, these got to be some of the most ungrateful people ever,
Yeah.
because they crying about how it was good for them in Egypt. Unbelievable. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye despise the Lord, which is among you, and
He
have.
said, you have despised the Lord, which is among you. Well, how did they
Mm-hmm.
despise him? They despised him with they complaining, and they whining, and their continual murmuring. So
Mm-hmm.
you despising the hand of the Lord. You despising this great deliverance,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
because all you can find a way to all you can find yourself to do is to complain.
Mm-hmm.
But they were never giving thanks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter what happened, they still never gave thanks. They always turned right back to complaining.
Yep.
When they was thirsty, they got water, and then they started crying for something else.
Mm-hmm.
When they was hungry, they got manna, and they started crying for something else. And
Mm-hmm.
on and on and on. It was never the people never were able to praise the true and living God, and thank him for his deliverance.
Mm-hmm.
That never came into their mind. They was all about why we ain't got this,
Mm-hmm.
and we need this,
Yep.
and we walking around here, we gonna die out here, and yada, and on and on and on, just non-stop.
Yeah.
But then the Lord gave him, he said, I'm gonna give you this meat, but you're gonna eat it a whole month. You're gonna get tired of it.
Yep.
Because that's what happened. You keep on crying, he gonna give you more than you can handle of what you crying about. And then you ain't gonna want it no more.
Yep.
Go ahead though, bro.
And have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt?
And you know what I'm saying? So now they say, wait a minute, why we even come out of Egypt? That's when your mind, that's when you gotta that's when your brain is turned off, like you like to say.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Listen, bro.
you came out of you was a slave.
You
You was in
slave.
harsh bondage.
Yeah.
The book even talk about, man, the cry of the people, came up before the Lord.
Yep.
So they was in harsh bondage. But all you could think of now that you out of it, now that you out of that position, now you looking for something else to be wrong. And this is what happens, man, when you unthankful.
Yep. Yep.
When you ungrateful,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna always find something else that's wrong, or something
Yep.
that need, and it'll never end.
Mm-hmm.
It'll never end.
Yep.
So, but when you do this with God, you causing hurt
To your own self.
to your own self.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cause it because this is something that displeases him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But this is something that we got to really be mindful of when we get down and we start praying and we start asking for all these things that we think we need,
Yep.
all these things we gotta have, and all of that. You gotta remember, pray with thanksgiving.
Yep.
Don't pray. Don't be a complainer, because things could be 100 times worse.
Yep.
A lot of times, the people doing the complaining, they ain't really got nothing to complain about.
Yep.
It's the people that really got hardship, and them the ones a lot of times that don't even complain.
Yeah. Truly.
They deal with it, man. You wouldn't even know
Yep.
that they was going through some of the things they was going through unless they told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the spoiled brats that's always complaining
Yeah. And
about
and,
it.
and, and
You
I don't
know,
mean to cut you off, brother, but
yeah,
again, too, I gotta remember, man, that we get one or two inconveniences and we thrown off. You know
yep,
what I'm saying? That's what happened to them in the wilderness. They had one or two inconveniences and they was thrown off. And
yep,
being thrown off, man, you go straight to not adjusting to it, but complaining and
yep,
being burdensome and weighing other people down. They wore
right,
Moses down. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Because
yep.
again, man, Moses was like, come on, this got to
Right.
be a practical joke. This got to be,
He
because
said, "Look, I ain't have all these children,
you
you
know what
know,
I'm saying? It's something that wore
because
him out.
right,
You know what I'm saying? When you
right,
hear somebody always saying something ain't right, the water ain't cold enough, the food ain't hot enough. I want this, I want that.
right,
It's something that's gonna wear you out. And again, if it displeased Moses, I know the Lord was upset. And it
right,
just this pattern, man, not being, in great gratitude for things that hurt him. That even hurts us.
right, right." But that's one thing. That's one way you do not want to approach God, is
Yes,
being
sir.
unthankful and
Yep.
ungrateful.
Yep.
So let's move along though, and let's look at Deuteronomy
Yeah.
28.
Yeah, definitely, man. And here in Deuteronomy 28, man, it's God is giving the blessings and curses. That if you obey, you're gonna be blessed. If you disobey, you're gonna be cursed. And he say one line in here, man. It just one verse in here is just heavy. So Deuteronomy 28 and brother, when you get a chance, pick it up at verse 47, brother.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And this is, man, this is, if this ain't true, one of the truest statements I ever heard. You know, it says, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness. One thing I learned about serving God, man, you want to have joy in you when you do it.
Yep.
I mean, when I'm rejoicing at class with the brothers, when we at the Lord's high days and his feast days, it's joy in my heart. When I
Right.
look forward to doing work for the Lord, it's joy in my heart. It's all these things that I've come to learn about God and his mercy and his compassion and his long suffering towards somebody who don't even deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Who
Yep.
and then filled me with a appreciation, and it filled me with all these things that we tend to only look for material stuff to fill you up with. Man, God can put great joy in our heart. And because, like it says, for the abundance of all things. Listen, man, you can't eat no T-bone every day or no ribeye every day. So if you get a sandwich or a salad or fruit or vegetables or whatever you get, man, all things, whether you got an apartment or a mansion, whether you got a hoopty or Rolls Royce, man, all of it is from the Lord. And it changes the way you start to have appreciation for his mercy, for life,
Yep.
for health. We put the emphasis on the wrong things. So now we can't be pleased. That's how I know they couldn't be pleased, because
Right.
they put the emphasis on the wrong things. And
Yep.
and God's telling them that this is what's going to happen to you. Now you've been led away into captivity. Now you serving your enemy in want of all things.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In hunger and thirst and nakedness and in want of all things.
Right.
They can't imagine if they could go back. They couldn't
Right.
imagine, man, what it was going to be.
Right.
And this is what I started to realize, man, years ago. Like, man, we need to be appreciative for anything or everything, whether it's what we want or don't want. We got it, and God allowed it to happen to us. So we need to change that, and we see where they fell short, and not try my hardest not to fall short where our
Right.
ancestors fell short at.
Right. Yeah. Not, definitely, man, not serving him with a grudge and like, man,
This
this work,
burdensome to me.
this is burdensome, and but you a burden. You know what I'm saying? You a burden on him.
Yes, sir, bro.
You probably a burden on 4, 5 more people.
Yes, sir.
You a burden on a whole lot of people, but you don't want no burdens. You don't want nothing put on you though. You don't
Yes,
want
sir.
nothing put on you. But you glad to be a burden to everybody else though.
Yes, sir.
And this is the mindset that we gotta break out of,
Yep.
because again, this gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This mindset gonna get you in trouble with your God,
Yep.
and it's gonna cause you a lot more grief
Yep.
because you're gonna be praying for stuff and ain't nothing happening. And this might be part of the problem.
Yep.
How you coming to God? You coming to him as a complainer and a murmurer, or you coming to him with thanksgiving?
Yep.
You coming to him with a cheerful heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is something that's overlooked,
Yeah.
because we are people, man, that all we care about is we want what we want,
Yeah.
and we want it right now.
Yep.
you know and if it don't happen like that, then we automatically go into the funk.
Yep.
We get in the funk because it don't it we I ain't get what I wanted, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't have my way.
Mm-hmm.
But coming to God like that ain't the best thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so it's all in the book. It's all here for our example.
Yep.
And we gotta stay away from it. But
Yep.
let's go on to Romans, the first chapter. Let's go to Romans 1. And man, when it's hard to keep that in your mind as far as being thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Uh because you so caught up in the things, everything going on in your life.
Yeah.
And some people think they deserve something. They think they entitled to have things.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't entitled to nothing but having your head busted.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we all done sinned against God. We all done walked contrary to his word
Yes, sir.
so many times. We don't deserve no blessings.
Yep.
We deserve the total opposite of that.
Yes, sir.
But then we forget that, and we think we deserve something, or we supposed to have some things that, hey, we just you think you supposed to have some things, and when you don't have them, now you got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to know why God doing this to you. Why you ain't giving me this, and on and on and on. But you becoming the same as the people that came out of Egypt. You
Yeah.
becoming a complainer
Yes, sir.
and a murmurer.
Yep.
And I know with me, I got to check myself all the time. Because when I'm praying, am I praying with thanksgiving, or am I praying as a complainer and a murmurer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because being a complainer and a murmurer ain't gonna really get you nowhere.
Yeah. And brother, over time you start to see, man, that most of the time, man, you praying for stuff that ain't gonna benefit you, bro.
Right,
You praying for vanity. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And instead of saying, hey, Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for these things and for this and for that. We become so puffed up in our behavior, even though we serving a man, we forget that all of it was given to you according to his will. And it can be
right,
taken according to his will.
right,
I go back to, Job, man. He said, naked I came into this world, and naked I'm gonna return thither.
right,
Blessed be the Lord God. It was a mindset of thankful and gratitude. It was a mindset of I appreciate what you gave, and you taking it. I understand that as well. We got to get to these points, and that's how we
right,
become these servants that our light can never go dim, or we able to help others, and we able
right,
to go to a point where, hey man, if we need to pick up that phone through prayer to get through to our God, He'll answer. We
right,
just got to change our behavior and that mindset. It's
right,
something, man, that man I work on daily, man, because I know, man, I can't come to God with this cockiness on my
right,
on my shoulder, talking about, hey, let me get this and that. Oh, can you do this? That ain't how it works. And
right.
over time, as I've grown, man, I see that we need to change it, bro. And
Yes, sir.
being thankful is it's the whole change of mind, bro, and your
Yep,
approach to the Lord.
yep, absolutely. Because you gotta truly had a mind to, again, like when the book talk about, amen, save yourselves from this untoward generation.
Yes, sir.
You got to catch yourself, man.
Yep.
Because ain't nobody gonna ain't nobody gonna be there most of the time to catch you.
Yep.
You gotta catch yourself when your thinking is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or when your attitude is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
or when when you see that you going you going down the wrong way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta catch yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because ain't no, it's not realistic, man. There's gonna always be somebody there to kind of talk to you and coach you up and kind of help pull you back. So it's something that got to be, like you said, got to be practiced, and it has to be something, man, that you just over time become more and more mindful of.
Yep.
But this Romans 1, we're gonna read verse 18 and then we gonna skip.
Okay.
But the Lord is just Paul is talking here about, he's talking about, in this chapter, he's saying a lot of things, but he's basically talking about people that's disobedient and what happens in this process.
Yep.
But he talks about their mindset, their mindset first, and then he starts to talk about what that mindset leads them to doing. And we ain't gonna read all of that, but we definitely gonna read uh the mindset that a disobedient person has.
Yes, sir.
So Romans 1 and read 18.
For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Verse 21.
Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful.
He
But
said, so need to see right away. He said, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful.
mm-hmm.
So when you unthankful, that is a mindset,
Yes, sir.
being unthankful.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what he's
Mm-hmm.
talking about.
Yes, sir.
What that these people right here have.
Yep.
They knew who God was and didn't glorify him.
Yep.
Well, we just read that. Because when you unthankful, how can you glorify God?
You can't.
Because you unthankful.
You can't.
Just like just like back in the wilderness. What they cried constantly, but they never glorified him because they was too busy complaining.
Yes, sir.
They was too busy murmuring.
Yes,
They
sir.
was too busy being unthankful. So they couldn't even glorify him for the great deliverance that they had came through.
Yep.
And that's what happens here.
Yep.
You can know who God is. You can know God, but once you start being unthankful, then
Yep.
you gonna stop giving him his glory,
Yes, sir.
because
Yes.
you're gonna be crying all the time and complaining.
Yes, sir.
But this is what happened. Hey, they ain't glorify him as God, neither were they thankful. Go ahead.
But became vain in their imagination, and their foolish heart was darkened.
He said, look, they became vain in their imagination, and their foolish heart was darkened.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, what's inside a man is most of it is vanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of what's in your mind is vanity. It
Yes,
don't
sir.
even, it ain't gonna, as far as salvation, it ain't gonna amount to nothing.
Yes, sir.
It ain't gonna get you closer to salvation.
Yes, sir. Yep.
We deal with a whole lot of vanity.
Yep.
Your imagination run wild if you let it,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
thinking about things that ain't gonna help you whatsoever
Mm-hmm.
get closer to God and get eternal life.
Mm-hmm.
We filled with that. The
Yep.
world is filled with that.
Yep.
But when you become unthankful, that's what happens. That mindset starts to push you in that direction,
Yep.
because an unthankful person is always looking for more,
Yep.
right? They always looking to how they can get this. So now I need to get this. But you start searching for things, and then you start dealing with things you have no business.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because what you have ain't good enough,
Yep.
right? When you unthankful, then everything you have ain't good enough. Now you got to have somebody else's
Yep.
whatever.
And
You know
and
what I
and,
mean?
and brother, listen, man. We ain't read over here, but because they was unthankful, they was filled with unrighteousness. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
and when you feel with unrighteousness, you will replace, meekness and humbleness and compassion and love and mercy and gratitude and all this stuff with the opposite, with that which is evil of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that starts to fill up your mind. And you can't never be pleased then.
Right. Yeah.
So when we start to look at that, man, when we don't have these true characteristics to make us better servants, we fill with stuff that make us wicked servants and don't make us children of
Right.
God, but they make us children of the devil and of wickedness and of
Right.
unrighteousness. That's why, man, and that's the big switch for me, man. It's been a mindset of gratitude and compassion and mercy, all this stuff that I realized over the last, 5-10 years that's gonna get me closer to God.
Right.
Not this mindset of, oh, I ain't got this, man. God ain't heard my prayer. Or why can't I get a job making 7 figures? You know what I'm saying? All that
Right.
stuff, man, it's foolishness and wastes your time from you being a productive
Right.
servant in the space that you in now, today.
Right.
And we have to, on the whole, get back to being appreciative,
Yep.
being thankful, being all these things that we see led people astray when we read this book. Once
Right.
we change that, man, we'd be a total different people. We'd be a total different, this would be a total different world, brother.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. If everybody, yeah, if everybody was thankful and appreciative,
Yes, sir.
it'd be a lot more peace,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when you can't never be pleased or never be satisfied and you unthankful, man, that's where that's where a lot of the friction come in,
Yes, sir.
because you got people trying to take what somebody else got.
Yep.
People doing any and everything to uh you know get ahead of somebody else. You have all of this fighting and bickering and going on, and
Yep.
a whole lot of that, man, is because somebody ain't pleased with their position,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
or somebody don't want something that they see somebody else have,
Yep.
um because you ain't thankful for what you have.
Yep.
And that's one of the that's one of the worst mindsets to have.
Yep.
If you gonna serve the true and living God, you got to be thankful, man.
Mm-hmm.
uh because it only brings you down, and then it separates you from God. But we're gonna move along. Let's go to this Psalms
So
100.
yeah, Psalms 100, man, and this again, most people, man. One thing I can see the theme of the Psalms overall was about being thankful. I
Right.
mean, about the Lord's mercy and about His compassion, about His healing and His deliverance, time and time again, and about benefits of worship. Most
Right.
people don't kind of do that, man. This is the majority. This is David's right, man. A man that was grateful, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, and had great appreciation for the
Right.
Lord's compassion and mercy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at some of these this morning from almost the beginning to all the end, man. It's something about the Lord's mercy and His compassion and His love and how we should rejoice in front of, how we should do this in front of, how we should be offering sacrifices and all this stuff in front of Him. But we ain't got that mindset. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And again, it's just one place, man. But if you read the Psalms, man, David loaded with telling, you know, about how the graciousness and the mercy of the Lord, man. But again, this is Psalms 100, and we just hit for one verse, man. Verse 4, brother. We get
But
it.
you know what? I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna pick it up at verse 1 though.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands.
Mm-hmm.
Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing.
Yes, sir.
Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We are his people and the sheep of his pasture.
Mm-hmm.
Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise.
Mm-hmm.
Be thankful unto him, and bless his name.
Yes, sir. We this right here to me, man, he started off, man, and he said, serve the Lord with gladness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, these last 5, 6 years, I've been serving the Lord with gladness. And man,
Right.
he can fill me with so much joy that I know I couldn't get from no material stuff.
Right.
It's this change of mind, this gladness. I'm happy to go in front of him, rejoice. I pray,
Right.
and I ain't even got nothing on the list of what I want. I ain't got nothing on it. All it is thanking him for his mercy and his compassion and asking him to heal and deliver me and others and to strengthen us in the work of the ministry. It ain't about all this stuff I want, because I see, man, all of it is vanity. So I got to change my behavior and my mind. He said,
Yeah.
come before him, his presence with singing. Verse 3 says, know ye that the Lord, he is God, that he that's made us. He made us. So,
Right. Right.
man,
Not
now we
not
ourselves.
and now we ourselves, you know. You
Because if you got that mindset, man,
right.
that you somebody, you can't
Right.
be glad. You can't
Right.
be thankful. You walking around cocky, praying cocky. And
Right.
these are the things that hinder us from growing closer to the Lord.
Yep. Absolutely. But uh, entering into his gates with thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
Be thankful unto him, man. All the servants of God, they knew,
Yes, sir.
like, hey man, look, we got to be thankful,
Yep.
because you know he don't have to hear you,
Yep.
he don't have to deliver you,
Yep.
he could just let you float, he could let you float along in life,
Yes, sir.
and let whatever happen to you happen.
Mm-hmm.
But giving him his honor, man,
Yep.
giving him his
Praise.
praise,
Yep.
you know and that's what we forget to do, man. We ain't, when we get down, when we start praying and things like that, man, sometimes that's the furthest thing from your mind.
Yep.
You ain't thinking about giving him his praise and his honor. You thinking about what I want
Mm-hmm.
and what I don't have.
Yep.
And that's counterproductive to having your prayers answered. That's counterproductive to being closer to him,
Yep.
so that he will, man, deal with you more and more.
Yep.
Where he'll work with you more and more.
Yep.
Uh, Sometimes we think, man, it's a privilege to know us, but that ain't so.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the
you
furthest
know,
thing from the truth.
it's a privilege, man, to understand and know the true and living God,
Yes, sir.
and we gotta approach him that way.
Mm-hmm.
We the ones that's blessed to know him,
Yep.
not the other way
Another way
around.
around. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But being thankful shows that you understand that, because
Indeed.
you thanking him for looking at you out of all these people in the world and dropping his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know, and being thankful, man, is the way you get better results.
Yep.
And
Yep.
being unthankful is the way you get jackhammers upside your forehead.
Wrecking balls and sledgehammers.
Yeah, you want it hard, man. You want life to be harder than it's gonna be. Be unthankful,
Yep.
and it's most definitely gonna happen. But let's go to this Colossians, the third chapter. Um, Again, we just really trying to analyze the benefits of being thankful, as opposed to being unthankful.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because this is essential if you want to get your prayers, if you want to get more of your prayers answered. um you want to be able to have a get closer to your God. This is something that's overlooked, but it's something that's real important.
Yes, indeed. Highly
you know
necessary.
you have to be thankful.
Yes, sir.
Colossians 3, brother, and when you pick it up at verse 14.
And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness.
And this charity, man, this love is so important.
Yes, sir.
But then this is going right along with being thankful.
Yep.
Usually, if you got that love in your heart, you're gonna be thankful.
Indeed. Indeed.
You're gonna be thankful not only to God, but you're gonna be thankful to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because hey man, you got the love of Christ in your heart. And
Yes,
when
sir.
you ain't got no love in you,
Yeah.
then you ain't thankful. You
Yeah.
bitter
Yep.
and you never happy.
Yep.
And it's all, you always got a problem.
Yep.
But a lot of that stem from, man, having a lack of love.
Yep.
So he said, hey man, above all these things, put on charity. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful.
And again, he say, look, man, and be ye thankful. Be ye thankful.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the main ingredients that's gonna keep your mind in the right place, and it's gonna help you draw closer to God.
Yes, sir.
Being thankful. Skip
Yes.
down to verse 17, brother.
And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
And he's saying, whatever you do in word or deed, do it in the name of Jesus, and giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
Yeah.
Giving thanks though.
Yeah.
Always, always having it on your mind
Yeah.
to thank him.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is gonna benefit you in the long run. This
Yes,
is
sir.
it ain't gonna it ain't gonna get you, it might not get you everything you want in life, but I tell you, it's gonna get you better results
Yes, sir.
when you are constantly thanking him,
Yep.
and you constantly letting them know and giving him his honor. It's gonna benefit you greatly.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord start delivering you out of things, and things start, more good things start happening when you change your attitude.
Yes, sir.
And that's the way you, even in the natural sense.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
the more somebody show you that they appreciate you, man, the more you want to help them.
Indeed.
The more you want to help them, because you like, man, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Well, if a person always is always down on you and always complaining, no matter what you do, that
Mm-hmm.
make you say, you know what? I don't want to do nothing with you, for you at all.
Yes, sir.
I don't even want to be around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to look at it the same way, as when we being thankful to God. You got to look at it the same way as when somebody's being thankful to you.
Yeah, yeah. And again, brother, this can benefit you not only with your relationship with God, but your relationship in your house, your
Yep.
relationship at church, your relationship at your job, your
Yep.
relationship with the stranger and with the homeless, the needy, the fatherless, and the widows. When you have a total different mindset and change,
Yep.
and God gives you more and more of his characteristics and his attributes, you can definitely, man, find benefits for this all
Yep.
over his creation. And I mean, it's just it's just everywhere. When you have gratitude and thankfulness in your heart, you become content in your situation. You
Right.
become patient. You become tolerant. You're able to tolerate so many things. You become, more compassionate. All these
Yep.
things have benefits for us that we need to really start to lock into. That's going to help us grow. That's going to make us complete servants, not just
Right.
servants loaded down with, oh, I know this, so I did this, but you want to be an all around servant, man. And again, man, you know, thankfulness is one of those gateways to that. You know what I'm saying,
Yep.
brother?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, we making good time. we made good time. We want to kind of, like we was talking, we want to kind of keep these podcasts around an hour, because we know a lot of people got short attention span, and then we don't want to be talking in circles.
Yeah.
So I know I got that issue, but man, we try to, we try to keep it brief, as brief as we can,
Yeah.
and say what we gotta say, and then Lord willing, man, we we bring another topic. But with that, we want to thank the listeners for joining us here on the Biblical Resolutions podcast, which is brought to you by the House of Jacob Bible Study Class, located at 2515 East 75th Street in Chicago, Illinois. As always, we want to bid you peace in the mighty name of Jesus.